looking forward to Roguebook, which comes out quite soon now. Yeah, so I played that, I think it comes out on the 17th or the 19th. I have it. Unfortunately, I can't stream it until the 17th. But Roguebook was decent. It, I think on my own end, I'm not as jazzed about it compared to, like... Compared to, like, Slay the Spire. But I think a lot of that just had to do with the fact that it was really heavy on meta progression. Let's see, a place I can find a current list of games I'm looking forward to. So I used to try and make those, and pretty much nobody actually cared about them, so I stopped producing them. Really the thing I'm looking forward to... Well, I mean, I guess the easy answer is the Patreon newsletter usually has our upcoming games list. But the thing that I'm looking forward to and care about the most, apart from finishing the games that I'm currently playing, like, right now, is, the Steam Summer Games Festival. And as opposed to the Jeff Keighley one, this is the festival with all the demos. That starts on Thursday. I'm really excited for that. That's my thing. I've totally forgotten how to play very momentarily, but that's okay.
So shiny.
I love roguelite elements and meta progression, so if that's a negative you have to say about it, it's a good sign for me. My big issue with meta progression in roguelikes is it often kind of requires that you play it over and over and over and over and over again for like dozens, if not hundreds, well, whoops. Dozens, if not hundreds of hours, depending on the roguelike. So, oh, what's a good one? There's a roguelike called... Let's see. Gunfire Reborn. Gunfire Reborn, really neat roguelike, pretty fun to play. Meta progression on it is downright heinous. And now, like, with Enter the Gungeon, you're unlocking new stuff, but it's not like you're increasing your statistics. Like, if you wanna... If you're good enough, you can beat Enter the Gungeon on your very first run. And nothing will stop you. But a lot of games with meta progression, the meta progression is more of a... It's almost there specifically to slow you down so you can't beat it on your first run. Unless you're somehow obscenely lucky, obscenely good, or a number of other things. Well, this wasn't worth it. There's no landing point around here. That, when meta progression is synonymous with just grind, I don't want it. When meta progression is something fun, or if it blends really well with the game, then I'm super cool with it. Let's see, what's a good example on that one? I mean, Last Spell's meta progression felt very good to me. Mainly just because it blended well with the game. It's gonna take forever to unlock it, but I never really felt like, oh man, you know, the meta progression is the thing that is stopping me from completing this game. Oh, there was a landing point. Hey, thank you, Del Taco the First, for the... I can't read how many resubs that is, or how many months that is. Unfortunately, it's very far away from me. There's a new roguelite announced at E3. Roguelites are actually becoming the most common genre. It's actually kind of... I'm not going to say baffling, but it's kind of ridiculous how many roguelikes there are. Wait, is this guy just... Oh, wait, no, he probably just has stone feet so he can hang out here. I was going to say, it's like, has he just calcified himself in this location? And that's just his life now? I mean, it could be. Okay, do I even get the last Raritanium? I mean, gosh, why not? Is the Snake roguelike getting good reviews? My dude, you should check. You should check my playlist. Snurks is great. That's the wrong flying vehicle. I've been playing Snurks for 2 weeks now.
Okay, Trudy.
It's really good.
Fly?
It definitely needs a lot of work to be like perfect. Like it's tragic. It is a game that was made in 2 months, as kind of like a fun experiment for the developer, as like a hobby project. But it's one of those roguelikes that if it got like a year or two of development, if it got consistent development for like just a little while, it would be one of those cult classic roguelikes that people still go back to, you know, months if not years later. You know, kind of like how Enter the Gungeon and Nuclear Throne and Binding of Isaac and whatnot are timeless. I don't think it'll ever have that quite that level of fame, but mechanically and like conceptually, it's there. Like it could be one of those. But, you know, super low budget means it will never quite reach it. But maybe if somebody wanted to make their own, like, kind of follow-up thing, boy howdy, I would play the heck out of it and have a ton of fun. Okay, so we're done with this planet for good. I am cooking. It's not even sunny in here. It sucks. The dev of Snurks is continuing development for at least a few months. Yeah. Muck 2 stonks boogaloo. You joke? Muck is the other roguelike that I'd put right up there.
Hope all's well with Ratchet.
Like, Muck is, frankly, it's a stupid game. But it is a perfect stupid game. And I'm not going to say like a perfect fusion between roguelike and survival mechanics, but it's one of those that like if you could straight up like take the roguelike elements and the survival elements and fuse them together in a more substantive fashion, and then really just make it a lot deeper, you'd be sitting on a really good game.
Good to see you.
I am glad you have decided to return.
Okay, let's scoot around real quick. Oh. How the hell? I guess that wasn't so bad, actually. There we go. Alright, back we go. Don't know how I missed that the first time through. Well, no. I guess I know exactly how I missed that the first time through. Alright, so what else am I missing here? We've got Rift. That's probably the suit bit. You know, I'm kind of surprised with this game. With the whole, like, Rift apart in multiple dimensions, I was really expecting there'd be a lot of different dimensions we'd be checking out. But it really is mostly just Rivet's dimension.
So, just don't fall. No problem.
That should be easy enough. I like the platforming in this game. It never really felt terribly problematic. If anything, it almost feels too forgiving in certain cases, but that's mainly just because, well, there should never be such a thing as too forgiving. It's mostly just I'm used to platformers punishing me hard. And it's kind of nice not being punished for like, oh, you mistimed this singular jump. That always sucks after a while. So you ever go back to Journey to the Savage Planet? Not really. It was a good game, and I enjoyed playing it with Shell. But... for starters, I'm pretty sure that studio doesn't exist anymore. It's odd to say, but I try very hard to cover games by studios that, like, me picking it up and playing it still supports them. But if I remember right, they specifically got bought out by Google to make Stadia games and then let go almost immediately. But they're also the people that specifically, their creative director was the one that was on Twitter saying that YouTubers and streamers should have to buy a license to be able to cover games. And more or less just yelling at anybody who disagreed with him, which is like, I mean, that's what Twitter is. Twitter is for yelling at people that disagree with you. But, yeah, a number of you guys recognize the developer in question with me bringing it up. I met the guy, and he was really passionately showing it off to me and talking about, like, you know, all of this cool stuff as, like, a content creator interview thing that I'd done with PAX. And, yeah, to find out, like, you know what? Gosh, a couple months later? Or no, that was this... Was that this year? That was at the beginning of this year. But it's like, you know, finding out that the dude was like super passionately telling me about his game and like showing it off and so on and so forth. Was the entire time. I'm gonna say. Oh, hello.
This raritanium shipment is so late. I'm gonna lose my job.
Come on, guys. Maybe a dimensional portal thingy will take us back to Nefarious City. Any minute now.
The Lombax! You need to deliver the shipment and the Lombax all at once.
Oh, there's actually a boss in here. Hello. Let's see, wouldn't buying a game count as a license for it? No. That's like how buying, like an album. Like, you can't buy, like, a 50-cent album and then stream it on... Oh, let's not go with 50 Cent. Screw him. That's a better example. Shit, I don't know. I don't pay attention to famous bands. Most of the bands I listen to actually, do just have open licenses. Just because I don't like the music industry. It's like buying...
else is using this shipment, might as well check it out.
Buying an album for $10 does not mean that you have a license to use that for anything other than your own amusement, your own, like, just listening. No, to actually get a license that allows you to reuse it, especially for semi-commercial purposes, such as, like, YouTubing and streaming, that costs a lot more. Now, most game developers are, like, totally chill with their games being shown off because, you know, it's actually really good for them. Like, how many of you guys watching this series have thought at least at some point, oh man, if I get a PS5, I might pick this game up. Or, oh man, if it goes cheaper, I'll pick this game up, like when I get a PS5. Or, oh man, I can't wait to get this game at some point. Or just, hey, I'm gonna get this game at some point, I just want to see... Whoop! Okay, there we go. Because, yeah, me, same, yes. But several games because of you, raises a hand, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and it's like... There are certain games where YouTubing and streaming it actually does kind of make it less likely for somebody to pick it up and play it for themselves. But, you know, YouTubers and streamers really are good advertising. Oh, it's the ship. And so, a lot of developers have realized this and actively are super positive about streamers and YouTubers covering their games. But every once in a while you run into the guys that, like, don't think that, and, like, I actively try and stay very far away from them. And any games they're associated with. Hello. I guarantee you, though, if it wasn't actually good marketing and harmed the games industry, my job would not exist. It would have gotten nuked a long time ago. And that's okay. I don't know. I think the only company that's not okay with YouTubers and streamers playing their game is Nintendo. Even Nintendo caved. It took them a while, but they did cave. So for a while, Nintendo straight up just kind of said no, but didn't stop anybody. Then they did their silly Nintendo Creators Program, which was like a harder, yes you can, but you have to stream and like make videos on our games, you have to give us a cut. But that didn't get them like nearly as much money as I think they were hoping they would, because turns out creators actually get paid peanuts. And they just didn't realize that. Was that it? Did I get it? I think we're done with... Yep, we're done. Alright, let's go back. But so eventually they gave up on it because it was just a massive hassle and a lot of people weren't happy about it. And that was kind of fine. And so now Nintendo just doesn't care. There's a couple of companies that still, you know, hold out, but most of them are just dinosaurs. Or Atlas. Really just Atlas is the one that I know of that I, like, don't trust. But even then, Atlas doesn't actually do anything. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. I love the fact that there's no loading times on this. That's such a good feeling. Okay. So we're missing one golden bolt.
Everything's good on Rivet's end.
Now, some games that get carried by their story I haven't bought because I watched a series on them. Also bought games that have good gameplay because I watched a series on it. I always feel guilty for playing a pure story game that, like, doesn't have a whole lot of gameplay because, yeah, I do feel like those are the few games where me covering it guarantees people are less likely to pick it up. See, a lot of copyright claims for YouTube and stuff are from music claims generally, aren't they? Yes, almost always, actually. I rarely, if ever, get gameplay footage stuff. And it's usually from Japanese companies. I think they don't get YouTube quite as well, but, like, I can't necessarily blame them. As Shell and I were watching a video from, I don't even remember which creator it is, but the guy does videos talking specifically about, like, you know, living and working in Japan. And so he had done one talking about how, you know, reasons not to, you know, move to Japan, or, like, effectively just a couple bad things about Japan that he had observed. And one of them that he'd specifically mentioned was how resistant much of Japan is to, like, new technology when it comes to, like, integrating it into their work? Question mark? And how, like, PCs, for example, never really caught on in the same way in Japan as they did in the States. Probably something to do with handhelds and the fact that a lot of people aren't home as much. Whoops. Nope. In story-based games, you can sort of claim that people just don't buy because they can watch it on YouTube. Probably wouldn't have bought it anyway. Yeah, big mix on that one. I still don't know in that regard, but I try and stay away from games that are pure story. Ish? I don't know. Even then, I still feel like it's a net positive having me cover a game that is much more heavy on the story side of things. Wandersong is probably one of the better examples of... I'm sure that game did fine, even without my influence, but I'm pretty sure my existence creating content on it...
How Jimbot's doing. I should get lunch with that guy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't I straight up do not know which one it is. Well, I guess I'm just gonna kind of zoop through this real quick. Yeah, I'm not gonna claim that I was responsible for a lot of like Wandersong's success, because I wasn't. But I can definitely say that, like, I'm pretty sure I was a positive influencing. What the hell was that? That was loud, whatever that was. Okay. Anything else? No. Alright, so I think we're just zooping back. It's super weird. This is like the one level that I feel like could have been so much better. Like, we had the whole drill segment, and I guess there was the cooking thing, but it just feels like this level is too linear. I think it's just the flip back and forth mechanic with the crystals, I think, kind of held it back in a way that they couldn't really design a whole level, or not design a whole level, but like I don't feel like they could really flex their level design skills on this one ish. There was the epic OSHA pipe clog. Like, it's great, but yeah, confusing to navigate is a big problem. I definitely agree on that one. Okay. Yeah, I never hit this crystal.
Kinda like being paid to stand
What?
around waiting to be rescued.
Okay, that was really strange. Here we go, shifty character. So now we've got it all. We never did resolve exactly what happened to the engineer lady. Like, she warned us, but we never actually, like, helped her get back or anything. She's just stuck here. I would have expected that, like, this would have been the opportunity for it. Here. Before I go anywhere, yeah. There we go. Yeah, she probably bunked a crystal. This would have been kind of neat to see that from, like, a short cutscene at the end. Like, if she managed to finally bunk a crystal, and get through to warn us instead of decoding the message. Huh. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. There's...
Hello, gorgeous.
How do I get down? Oh, I guess I just hop off. Okay. Is that all of it? Let's see. I guess we got, like, one more bit of raritanium there. I mean, I might as well. I'm here.
Engaging, charming accent.
Identified.
Okay, so we want to get over there somehow.
Hi, Jim.
I think it should take me here. We will see. Yeah. This was her world. She was trying to warn the other world. I know, but she was still, like, stuck and sad and, like, upset. I don't know. It just feels weird to leave them behind. Because it's not like it would be a time paradox. To have dimensional counterparts warp over. Okay. I really want to get this gun and the Warmonger up to level 4, if I can. Okay, so we're looking probably for the crystal at the very bottom end of this cave. Oh, this is the one where we're being told to hurry. Ah, that was weird. Probably missed it along the way. Oh. It's this whole region back here that I just didn't really check out. Pretty sure this is a no-go zone. No, it isn't. But why, though? Okay, this is definitely a no-go zone. I am not supposed to be here. Come on, low gravity, work with me. Yeah, we're good. Let's see, is Wander still doing 100% or did you miss the ending? I'm still doing a hundo. I'm not sure how committed I am to hundo, but I'm not going to platinum this, probably, but I will find every collectible. Okay, I think that's everything. Let's just skate on back. If you get all the screws, you get unlimited ammo. Which I feel like is just going to be really fun. Specifically, fighting Emperor Nefarious with an endless horde of Doombots. Oh, the fish on the elevator gets all jittery? It's got to be one of the elevators where I actually go up and down, though.
Oh, apologies and greetings.
Okay, so where's the
Best friend. Hello.
teleporter? Back over here. There it is.
Hi, Jim.
Okay, so we're missing suit
Feeling
piece.
good about this one.
And one golden bolt. I should probably take a look at the other one. How many spy bots are left? One. So to some degree, I should probably go find that spy bot before doing all this, but like I'm barely fighting here anyway, so. How the hell?
It looks busy.
Okay. There we go. Wow. Was not expecting this area to be as, hectic as it is. Oh, that's where the golden bolt is. Well, there's our answer. Well, that was actually as easy to get to. Alright, now what do we do? Right, we're still looking for a rift somewhere over here. This one. I think everything else is easy peasy.
We got it.
So you got the big guy back.
Oh.
What did he say? Actually, don't worry about it. I'll tell him.
We want to do this. Is this here? Oh, it's right in here. Must have missed it. There we go.
Smell is so.
See, endless Mr. Fungus and
Maybe it's time for one last speedle ride.
So, you can't do endless Mr. Fungus or the Doom. Let's see, not the Doom, the Bombardier. The Doombots are the only ones that you can do, whoops, proper endless on. Whew. You can hope there isn't anything important in any of these.
Whoa!
Got it. Let's see. Twitter would complain about anything, even if it's a non-issue. Graphics look great to me. Oh. Is this in regards to the fact that the plants don't react to the characters running through? Is that what people are still whining about in regards to this game? I saw some people really being hard on this about, like, the ferns don't move when you bump into them. Like, yeah, if I walk through these plants, they don't move around. That's such a non-thing, though. Like, I get it. Twitter has to just yell all the time, but, like, perhaps at least find something worth yelling about. Okay, how the heck do we get back? I guess we don't. I guess we just go this way. Like, I would care if it was a game that really was priding itself in its realism or in its, like, look at all this stuff you can do. Like, it'd be really weird to have, I'd say Red Dead Redemption. It's like, we spent X number of hours working on horse nuts. But, you know, they couldn't get, like, a fern to wave because your character is going through. Like, this is not that. Like, more detail would have been amazing and would have helped. But I straight up didn't even notice that it wasn't in the game until people started complaining about it. And it's like,
Nice.
at that point, it's just kind of easy to say, like,
I have become busier. I did not expect this.
cool. Like, I don't want to be dismissive of things that, like, could and should be done, but I could have gone this entire game without knowing that you know, could have gone the entire game without knowing that vegetation doesn't react to my presence, and I honestly
Hope all's well with Ratchet.
would never have cared.